Good morning. Aloha from Florida. So let's talk for a minute about a fake professor and real science. Of course, a fake professor doesn't have any real science, but he does have a lot of subjective beliefs and opinions about the Earth being a spinning wet rock in outer space. Now, I'm going to relate this to the new documentary that's coming out. But one of the arguments that we get from this fake professor, and if you research Flat Earth, if you search for it online, his videos will pop up. Again, all he has is claims without evidence. All he has is subjective beliefs and opinions. His name is not a Professor Dave. He gave himself the name Professor Dave so that he could pretend to be smart. He's not smart at all. He can't even think independently at all. Or maybe he can, but he's a paid liar now, and he's not going to admit the truth. So one of his arguments is that you can see the Southern Cross from 3 different continents. The assumption is that you can see the Southern Cross from 3 different continents looking south all at the same time, which would be impossible if the Earth were flat, according to him. Well, here's the deal, not a Professor Dave. Here's the deal for those of you who have watched that video. When you searched for Flat Earth and you found a government-approved, a Google-approved, a YouTube-approved video allegedly debunking Flat Earth with a simple subjective, not objective, a subjective belief or opinion. Here's the deal. It's not dark on all 3 continents at the same time. So, absolutely, you cannot see or observe the Southern Cross on all 3 continents at exactly the same time with everybody looking straight up in the sky. Here's what can happen, according to my friend Eddie Alencar from the channel Flat Earth Banjo USA Japan, and he has a really good, extremely well done video on this subject. So let's say someone in Australia, on the very, very western edge of Australia, is looking far to the west and looking at the Southern Cross. And at that same time, as it is dark there, it is dark over the continent of Africa. And someone on the tip of Africa can be looking south almost directly up and see the Southern Cross. And then someone on the very eastern edge of South America can look far to the east as it is just barely getting dark and see the Southern Cross. So technically, it's possible, possibly, maybe, to see the Southern Cross from 3 different continents at the same time, but nobody on all 3 continents is looking straight up all at the same time looking at the Southern Cross, because the entire sky rotates and moves over us in perfect order. It's almost like we live inside of a divinely designed clock, an intelligently designed clock, where the entire sky of night stars moves over us in perfect unison. Another option or argument that we get from people who want to believe in the globe is like, you're trying to tell them Santa Claus isn't real, and they're like, oh, no, Santa Claus is real. The globe is real. The globe is real. It's absolutely real. No, the globe's not real. Santa Claus is not real. And we're not trying to take your blue ball away from you. We're just trying to tell you, look into it. Research reality for yourself for a while and see what you find. But this idea that the night sky rotates in an opposite direction in the south than it does in the north, that is true. It's apparent. It looks like it is. But here's the deal. All of the stars are still moving east to west. And here's the real deal. They are all moving in exact, perfect unison. There's not 1 or 2 stars moving a little faster or slower than all the other stars. There's not 1 or 2 stars moving east or west or south or north compared to all the other stars. The entire night sky of fixed stars moves in perfect unison over our heads, night after night, year after year, decade after decade, millennium after millennium, for all of recorded history. And a lot of the buildings on the earth were built in alignment to these stars and the sun and the moon during the solstices and equinoxes, and they still line up perfectly today, which would never happen if the earth were a spinning wet rock in outer space, traveling trillions of miles every year. You wouldn't have the same night sky even 2 nights in a row, let alone for all of recorded history. So I said I'm going to relate this to the documentary. The new documentary is coming out 10/10/23. It is called The Mechanical Realm. You can go to themechanicalrealm.com for a little bit more information. And there's a couple trailers on there now. It is by Vika Drazev, a friend of mine, and a few other people who have become friends. I think there's 6 or 7 of us in the documentary total. I'm in the documentary with them. And we will be talking about what we see in the sky above us, what we actually observe, and what all of the ancient cultures knew about the sky and the earth. See, we're taught to believe that we are an advanced civilization and that people 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, just weren't really that bright compared to us today. We're smarter than them. It's actually the exact opposite. People 2,000 years ago absolutely knew that the earth was flat and stationary and that the sky, everything in the sky, rotates over us. The sun and the moon and the wandering stars, which you would call planets, move in like spirograph patterns from tropic to tropic. The sun creates our seasons, from moving to the Tropic of Cancer in the summer here in the north, out over the equator for the equinox, out to the Tropic of Capricorn, which would be winter in the north and summer in the south. That's how it works. That's what everyone knew 2,000 years ago. That's what we know today if you actually research reality and observe what we see in the sky, like actual observation, not belief and opinion because of a government indoctrination camp school book or textbook. So go to themechanicalrealm.com. That documentary is going to be a slam dunk for the flat earth community. It is going to be a tool to build the flat earth community, and it's going to be a weapon to fight against the world of academia, the world of lies, the world of deception, the world of delusion. You don't have to believe anything I say. In fact, I always say, please don't believe me. Go research this for yourself. This documentary coming out, The Mechanical Realm, will help you in your research. That's enough for today. Have a good one. God bless.